Hey Nick. Let me get that out of the lens there. So, making another video showing you what we got going on now. We're making progress inside. I'm sure you remember seeing a lot of the stuff that we did before. So I'm going to show you what we've got going on and the updates and kind of how we did it. So you remember the interior, I'm sure. And see, we've cleaned it up. A lot of this tar stuff that they've used for filler and stuff, we had to scrape all of that off to make the floor nice and clean and new. Just like you saw before, we have to sand it off before we can put anything new on. Otherwise, if I put new stuff on top of this while it's still dirty, it's not going to stick to this. It's going to stick to this dirt. It'll go on top of the dirt and stick to that. And then when the dirt comes off, what the new stuff I put on will come off with it, and all my work will be ruined. Right? So what we've done is, you'll notice, because it's an old car, in this beautiful, look at this, rust. So this whole floorboard is rusted out. You can see the size of that. Put my hand there, you can see the size of what we're dealing with. So that's all rusted out. And we've got a few spots like that that I have to fix. We've started fixing some, and I'm going to show you what we did. So we've got that rust hole. You know, I could be here all day showing what few rust holes there are here, but see this along the side. And what causes the rust is when they let water in to the car, and water sits in the floor of the car, it will rust it out. It causes the metal to rot, just like wood does. A little differently, but same principle. So we've got all this clean. We've got the doors scraped off and clean. We've got all that black rubber stuff that's down here. We've taken it off the door, so the door's cleaned out. Now we can sand that down and put fresh paint on. The back, this has all been sanded down. Now somebody put speakers under here at one time. So they decided just to drill all these ugly holes for the speakers. So now we got, Freddie, which is right here. Hi, Freddie.
Hi.
It's our friend from Italy. He came in specifically to work on the car. We're getting Italian handyman service from Italy. And he's got all this sanded down. So now the speakers, we're going to have to fill this. You remember I showed you about the body filler and the red and the whitish stuff and the pinkish stuff, like this, that we have to fill all these holes with. And then we'll make this look as good as the rest of this. So then we can go ahead and paint it, and it'll look all brand new. Remember the roof? What it looked like with the body filler? Now this is what it looks like, a little dusty because we've been working it here. But it's pretty much finished. You see the difference. You remember the bed of the truck? What it looked like? Well, we've got it all cleaned. Freddie's got everything all scraped out. He did a lot of work last night. Got all this cleaned up. So now we can go back and put the black coating on it and get this looking back like new. You'll notice where the rust is, or was, we had to cut all that out. So all of that's been cut out. On the floorboard, you can see through to the bottom of through the garage floor now, because we had to cut all that out. All the rust has to come out so we can put new metal in. To get it out, we use this. This is one of the tools you can use. It's a grinder. So we put the right wheel on, which you'll notice how this one's a skinny wheel, and then this one, we use this to cut out along the lines, and that takes out the metal for us. Now once the metal's out, then we've got bare metal. Now what happens is when bare metal gets wet, it can rust all over again. So all that work we did is just for nothing. So we use this rust remover. We'll put this on our brush. Okay, so we put the rust remover on our brush or a rag, and we put that around the raw edges of metal so that the rust doesn't happen again. We stop it from happening again. Now this is a good point to mention what we do with the tools. If we're going to use the grinder, remember it's always important to use your safety stuff. So I use my heavy mechanics gloves. Okay, that helps that not cut my hand so much. I mean, if I put it right on my hand, it's strong enough it would cut into my hand too, but this is, you know, for sharp metal. It won't cut my hand, things like that. Now I always wear these. We have safety glasses over there, Freddie?
Yep.
And the safety glasses. Because you always want to protect your eyes, right? Thank you, Freddie. So we use the gloves and the glasses before we use a machine like this. Always be safe. When it comes time for the rust remover, this is a very strong chemical. So with the rust remover, we'll use rubber gloves. And this stops it from getting on our skin, because that would make us sick. Okay? You want to keep, anytime you use chemicals, you want to use rubber gloves, and some chemicals you want to use your safety glasses if that chemical tends to splash, because you don't want it to splash into your face. Another big tip is, when you're working, you notice we don't have a lot of stuff just laying around. Everything's nice and clean and in its place. Okay? That's what you have to do. Anytime when you start a job, it's best to come in and have a nice clean work area, right? So now that we're done for today, you notice we turn the lights off, clean everything up out of the inside of the car. There's no tools laying around. I'll go ahead and pick these up, because we're done with these for the day. You pick everything up nice and clean. Same as we do our room at home. We keep everything in the shop clean, so everything's nice and neat and easy to work with. Keeps everybody else in the house happy. Just like my wife doesn't like all the tools laying around, I'm sure your mom doesn't like your clothes and toys laying around. So when you're done playing, you know, we pick them up. When I'm done working, I pick up my stuff. See, nice and neat, nice clean work area. So much easier to find everything, right? I think that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up my stuff, make sure I'm all cleaned up, and me and Freddie will see you again in a couple days. And oh, by the way, yellow, good color for a truck. I think we're going to go with more of a silver and a black. So I think we're going to paint this car silver along all the main parts, and you know, the roof, and then we're going to fill in this whole middle area with black. Oh, you remember the back panel, what it looked like in the last video? Here's what it looks like now. A lot better, huh? That's what happens when you do it right. Everything looks a lot better. Okay, so we'll see you again next time. Me and Freddie are going to clean everything up. Bye, Freddie.
Bye.